Cops hunting for two migrants accused of brutally beating, mugging Times Square tourist outside four-star hotel. That's what y'all get. That's what y'all get. Y'all shouldn't be voting for these Democrats. Because some of y'all tourists vote for Democrats in your state. Then y'all go to New York and you shocked. Stop voting for these Democrats. They done messed it all up. They don't have no real experience succeeding in America. Their policies suck. They have yielded no positive results or minimal positive results in America. Democrats have ruined the black community. Black people were doing better. See, let me explain doing better, right? If you go and invest in the market, you go and invest your money, and the company just does the IP, I think it's what you call it, and it starts out at $15 a share. Every other stock has appreciated that's in the same industry. Now they're $40, $50, $60, $100, $200, $300 a share. The stock that you picked is now $17 a share. Are you celebrating or are you not? Let's say there was 10. Let's go back to just create these stocks. Let's say all of the tech stocks IP'd at the same time at $15 a share. Option A is now $200 a share. Option B is now $700 a share. Option C is now $100 a share. Your option went from 15 to 17. Did you win or did you lose? And this is what the black community is experiencing. They go, oh, black people are much better now than we were in Jim Crow. Yeah, we're just a little bit better. I don't think we're that much better. Maybe wages are up, whatever, but then there's negatives. Single parent homes, incarceration rate, gang membership, gang violence, homicide, violent crimes, the reputation of black people, the faith and reputation that black people see within themselves are all on a decline. Most abortions out of any race per capita, most murders out of any race per capita, most murders in general. You go down the list, most victims of murder, generational wealth is the lowest out of probably any race in America, maybe other than natives, which I don't think is lower than natives. You go by and name it, and this is the status that black people are in. So you say our stock went from $15 to $17. Everybody else stuff went to $2,000, $100,000, $100. What are y'all saying? Jews after the Holocaust, where they stock at? They stock was as negative in the Holocaust. And now look at them. Look how the Jews have progressed around the world. They got a whole country. They in America dominating. Look at Asian people. What are they doing now? How have their stock accelerated over time? So don't give me that, black people are better off. No, we not nowhere near where black people should be. We started out with a divorce rate of only about 25%, or a wedlock. Children born out of wedlock are only about 25%. Now we're at 70-some%. That's not a net positive. Black people are more religious, believed in God more. I mean, you go down the list. Look at the way we used to dress. Martin Luther King, Million Man March, suits and tie, respectable. You couldn't do nothing but respect black people. Because they can't, to me, they came from a place of saying, I'm qualified to do the job. Y'all just don't want to let me do it because I'm black. My credentials are there. My education is there. My work ethic is there. Y'all just won't let me do it because I'm black. Nowadays, the education ain't there, the work ethic ain't there. Y'all owe me because I'm black. A peanut in my throat or something. That's where black people have gone, the contrast. Booker T. Washington and some of these other established black folks were saying, we don't need you to give us a handout. Just get out our way. Just move to the side. We'll make our own university. Just move to the side. We have our own theaters. Move to the side. We have our own genre of music. And we doing it better than anybody. Move to the side. We cook that gumbo better than any of y'all. Move to the side. Move to the side. Let us be free. Let us live the American dream like everybody else. We don't need you to kiss our butts. And then Martin Luther King came along and said, we want a part of what y'all got going on. Let's abandon what we built and let's be a part of what y'all built. And when we get to where y'all are at and y'all don't like us, we want to complain and have a grievance. I honestly think Martin Luther King and that whole movement really screwed black people in the long run. It really screwed black people. Because if we look at it, there is no other, I don't believe, there's no other race of people that pushed it like black people were pushing it. And then you look at it, you say, okay, now we got the Civil Rights Act was passed. Now whatever the government has to make establishment let black people in and hire black people and do all this stuff. Now where are black people at today? Generally speaking, not every black person. Generally speaking, look at the numbers. It's like we're declining in a lot of areas. We haven't gained more generational wealth, none of that stuff. And then if you go outside of what's actually happening, listen to the complainers, which they're complaining about stuff that ain't real. We still complain about white supremacy. They still coming up with diversity, inclusion, and delusion. They still want reparations. I mean, it hasn't gotten us anywhere. And I digress, but I really do think Martin Luther kind of messed us up a little bit, man. He wasn't who we thought he was. Maybe he was acting in good faith, I don't know. But the results of it did not go well. And I think that the fear of black people not being smart enough to do it on their own is the reason why some of this stuff was thrusted to the forefront. I don't think black leaders believed in black people. I think they knew black people were just behind the curve, and they were like, we ain't never going to get ahead of the curve, so let them hand us stuff. Instead of saying, you know what, it may take 40 years, but the generation before us, we're going to double what they did, triple what they did, quadruple what they did. The generation before us, generational wealth that they passed us, we're going to pass even more wealth. But instead, it didn't end up being like that. And I even get caught up in that. First time I made some money, guess what I did? I went and bought a Rolls Royce. I sold it, but I went and bought, that was the first thing. I didn't buy real estate. I didn't put it in an investment account. I didn't do none of that stuff. I bought a Rolls Royce. You know how stupid that is? How silly it was? Now, it made me feel good, but it wasn't a good business move. So as a young man, I had to try to unravel all that and make proper investments. But I feel like it comes from the culture. And it's the instant gratification. It's growing up saying, I ain't never had nothing like this growing up. I never had enough money to do this, this, and this. So I want to do right now while I'm alive, I want to do all these things that I never had a chance to do when I was young. And coming from a place of drought and a place of kind of wishing that you had more when you were younger. And my dad and them did a great job. I just, I see people that parents are just so much have way more money than my parents did, and they get to do everything they can ever think of, and money was never an issue. So when it occurs to me, now I'm making poor decisions financially,